We're about to enter a realm that very few dare to acknowledge, let alone understand. But if you found this video, it's because something within you is stirring. A vibration, a memory, a calling. This is not some surface-level spiritual fluff. What we're about to talk about is real, raw, and disruptive. It's about the 5 rare spiritual gifts that only multidimensional chosen ones possess. You didn't stumble here by accident. You were drawn here. And by the time these words reach the depth of your soul, your perception of reality will never be the same again. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you don't belong? Like you were born with a sense of mission, but you can't quite put it into words yet? Have you ever noticed how deeply you feel things others don't even notice? Or how sometimes it feels like you can see through people, feel the future, or even bend reality with your intention? If you said yes to any of that, it's not your imagination. You're not broken. You're not too sensitive. You're not weird. You're multidimensional. And chances are you're chosen. But chosen doesn't mean better. It doesn't mean special in an egoic way. It means you were selected by your higher self, by Source, by the divine intelligence that governs this universe to anchor a different frequency into this world. A frequency that disrupts illusions, heals timelines, and activates dormant codes in others. And that requires gifts, but not the flashy, performative kind. I'm talking about sacred abilities, rare spiritual codes that awaken only after deep inner death. Gifts that can only be accessed by those who've walked through fire, drowned in their shadow, and emerged with nothing left but truth. The first gift is one you may not expect. It's the ability to feel the entire field. Most people feel their own emotions. The chosen ones, we feel the entire collective. We walk into a room and instantly download the unspoken energy. We touch someone's hand and feel their trauma, their dreams, their inner child. Sometimes we mistake it as anxiety, but it's not. It's energetic clairvoyance. This gift is brutal. Because without mastery, it feels like being a sponge in a sea of pain. But once refined, it becomes one of the greatest tools for healing, guiding, and transforming others. The key here is discernment. What you feel isn't always yours.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
One of the most powerful practices I ever learned was to pause and ask, is this energy mine or something I've picked up? You don't heal by absorbing. You heal by transmuting. You don't carry the pain of the world, you alchemize it. And when you realize that, the gift activates on a new level. You no longer get overwhelmed by energies, you command them. The second rare gift only chosen ones carry is quantum memory. It's not about past lives in the traditional sense. It's about remembering across dimensions. You suddenly start having dreams that aren't dreams. You meet someone and instantly feel like you've known them for millennia. You visit a place for the first time and your body weeps with recognition. What's happening is this: your multidimensional awareness is bleeding through. You're accessing soul data from higher timelines. Why? Because you're here to collapse those timelines into this one. That means healing unresolved cycles from ancient civilizations. That means retrieving lost knowledge. That means anchoring the codes from Lemuria. Atlantis, Sirius, Orion, Arcturus, and beyond. But that gift comes with responsibility. Because when you remember more, you must be more. You can't live small. You can't numb out. You can't pretend you're just normal. That version of you is gone. And here's the kicker. The more you remember, the more the Matrix tries to distract you. It will throw chaos, drama, and disconnection your way, not to punish you, but to test you. Will you choose your memory or your conditioning? That's the real battle. The third gift is the most misunderstood. It's the ability to shape-shift realities through frequency. You've probably noticed this already. When you're aligned, everything flows. Synchronicities appear. People call you lucky. But it's not luck. It's mastery of vibration. You've been gifted with a frequency so specific, so potent, that when it's activated, reality bends. But here's the thing. The gift isn't in your frequency alone. It's in your ability to hold it when everything is falling apart. That's what makes you rare. Anyone can feel high vibe when life is easy. But you've been called to hold love in the face of betrayal, to hold peace in the middle of chaos, and to hold power when you're being dismissed, attacked, or ignored. And every time you choose to hold your frequency instead of reacting, you shift reality. Not just for yourself, but for every soul connected to you across time. This is real. This is quantum law. And this is why most chosen ones go through extreme initiations. It's not punishment. It's preparation. Ask yourself this. What frequency am I emitting when no one is watching? Because that frequency is your true signature. Now, the fourth gift is one that almost always comes after deep suffering. It's the sight beyond sight, the ability to perceive patterns, archetypes, and energetic blueprints behind reality. You start to notice how nothing is random. You see how every event, every person, every pain is part of a larger orchestration. You start to read the field like a sacred text. This is not just intuition. This is divine pattern recognition. You see the code. You see the matrix. You see where someone's trauma is looping. You sense what's really going on behind their words. And more importantly, you know how to shift it. But this sight can feel isolating, because when you see what others can't, you often walk alone. You speak truth and people resist. You offer light and they reject it. You see the future and they call you crazy. But keep going, because every oracle, every prophet, every mystic has been through this. You're not here for validation. You're here for activation. And finally, the fifth gift, the rarest of them all, is the ability to collapse time. This is where things get cosmic. Multidimensional chosen ones don't operate on linear timelines. We're not here to move from point A to point B over 10 years. We're here to collapse timelines, rewrite karma, and quantum leap souls into new realities. You've probably felt this. Moments where time bends. Where what should have taken years happens in weeks. Where you meet someone and your whole life shifts. That's not coincidence. That's temporal mastery. When you collapse time, you're accessing the now field, the singularity where all possibilities exist. And from that field, you don't hope, you command. But to access that field, you must die to the egoic mind. You must surrender the illusion of control. You must become empty. Only the empty vessel can carry infinite timelines. And that's what you are, a vessel for the divine. So now, I want you to really feel this. What would it mean if everything you've ever experienced, every pain, every loss, every longing was preparation for the activation of these gifts? What if your breakdowns were coded initiations? What if your weirdness was your wisdom? What if you were sent here not just to survive but to awaken others by simply being who you are? You are not here to fit in. You are here to change the entire game. But first, you must own these gifts, embody them, refine them, train them, protect them. Because when you do, reality will respond. Everything will shift. The right people will appear. The right mission will unfold. And the universe will conspire not to test you, but to support you in ways you've never imagined. You've crossed the veil. And now there's no turning back. You're still here. That means something ancient within you has been stirred. You felt the resonance, the remembering. You've begun to recognize that what you carry isn't random, it's encoded, placed inside you by higher intelligence long before your birth. And now, in this exact moment of global collapse and spiritual acceleration, your soul is whispering, it's time. Time to stop doubting your gifts. Time to stop hiding your power. Time to stop waiting for permission to become the living portal you were sent here to be. This world is shifting fast. Systems are breaking down. Institutions are crumbling. The old paradigms cannot hold the weight of this new vibration. And while most people react in fear, the chosen ones, we respond with presence. But presence isn't passive. It's active, fierce, aligned. And when we master our rare spiritual gifts, not just understand them, but live them, we become anchors for the new earth. We don't just survive the collapse. We guide others through it. Let's begin with the first step to mastery, grounded embodiment. This is where most spiritual beings get lost. They awaken to their gifts, they feel the energy, they tap into higher realms, and then they float away. They become ungrounded, disembodied, detached from the physical plane. But here's the truth. Your power is not fully expressed in the ether. Your power is activated in the body. You are not here to ascend away from this world. You are here to descend into it with divine power. That means rooting your energy, eating consciously, moving your body with reverence, creating sacred structure, honoring your vessel. Because your body is not an obstacle to your gifts. It's the gateway. Your cells carry memory. Your blood carries ancestral codes. Your breath is the bridge between dimensions. So ask yourself, am I treating my body like a sacred technology? Or am I escaping it in the name of spirituality? Because your gifts are not meant to stay in the crown chakra. They're meant to move through your heart, your hands, your voice, your actions. When you're grounded, you become a living portal, not a concept, not a dreamer, but a conduit who walks with presence, speaks with power, and heals through embodiment. The second step to mastery is emotional alchemy. Let's be real. You're going to feel more than most people. That's part of the contract. You're not just processing your own emotions. You're transmuting ancestral pain, collective fear, and even trauma from other timelines. But here's the sacred shift. Stop seeing your emotions as burdens. start seeing them as keys. That rage, it's unexpressed truth. That grief, it's ancient wisdom surfacing. That fear, it's power in disguise. Emotions are energy in motion. And you've been given the gift of emotional depth so you can access layers of reality others don't even know exist. But you must feel to heal. You must sit with what others run from. You must open when your instinct is to close. When a chosen one learns to alchemize emotion into insight, pain into prophecy, and shadow into sacred fire, they become unstoppable. So instead of asking, how do I get rid of this feeling? Ask, what is this emotion trying to awaken within me? Because every emotional wave you ride is a vibrational upgrade. Every time you lean in instead of numbing out, your field expands. And as your field expands, something wild begins to happen. Reality starts to bend. Which brings us to the third key of mastery, commanding your frequency. Let's stop playing small here. You are a multidimensional being. You carry codes that can alter timelines. You've seen glimpses of this already. You think something, and it happens. You speak a truth, and it triggers a chain reaction. You walk into a space, and the energy shifts. That's not magic. That's resonance. Your vibrational field is your most powerful tool, but it must be trained, honed, refined. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every belief you hold emits a vibration. And that vibration either aligns you with your divine blueprint or with the distorted matrix. So ask yourself, honestly, what am I broadcasting into the field right now? Are you broadcasting fear masked as planning? Are you broadcasting lack disguised as ambition? Are you broadcasting doubt hidden beneath humility? You don't shift reality by wishing. You shift it by becoming a match for what you desire. And that takes radical self-honesty, radical self-responsibility. No one's coming to save you, because you're the one you've been waiting for. The fourth level of mastery is what I call timeline navigation. You are not stuck. You are not trapped. You are standing in a quantum field of infinite potential, and your choices right now are either locking you into old timelines or launching you into new ones. And the difference, it's not the size of the choice. It's the frequency behind it. Choosing to speak your truth when your voice shakes, timeline shift. Choosing to rest instead of hustle, timeline shift. Choosing to forgive when you'd rather blame, timeline shift. This is how we collapse time, not through massive effort, through micro-aligned decisions made consistently. Your gift as a chosen one is that you can feel which timelines are alive in the moment. You can sense when someone is operating from a future that hasn't happened yet. You can feel when a room is infused with past life karma. That sense is not a burden. It's a compass. Use it, trust it, let it guide you. The final step to mastering your gifts is the most sacred of all, service through authenticity. We weren't chosen to hoard our wisdom. We were chosen to radiate it, to share it, to live it so loudly that others wake up just by being near us. But this doesn't mean becoming a guru. It doesn't mean preaching. It doesn't even mean being understood. It means being so fully yourself, so raw, so real, so aligned that your life becomes a transmission. You want to activate others? Be activated. You want to lead others? Embody your light. You want to change the world? Be so true to who you are that the world has no choice but to mirror it. And yes, you'll trigger people. That's part of it. Your light will illuminate their shadow. Your power will confront their passivity. Your freedom will expose their cages. But don't dim. Don't twist yourself to be digestible. Don't dilute your essence to be accepted. You were not sent here to be liked. You were sent here to liberate. So now I ask you, what would your life look like if you fully trusted your gifts? What would you create? What would you release? Who would you become? And can you feel that version of you already watching? They're not in the future. They're in the now, waiting for your permission. Waiting for you to say, yes, I remember. I'm ready. Let's begin. And when you do, everything will shift, not because you forced it, but because the universe always responds to authenticity with acceleration. This is what it means to be a living portal, a multidimensional being walking through a collapsing world, not in fear, but in reverence. Not surviving, activating, not escaping, embodying, not hoping, commanding. The age of sleeping chosen ones is over. Now we rise.